on message boards and in my videos, you'll hear me say feathers are for flying and vanes are for other stuff. Certainly vanes are the most simple thing to do. They're on every shaft out there. They're pre-fletched from the factory. They're easy to work with. They're easy for the robots to build millions of shafts at a time. So for the archery industry and for the average archer, vanes are going to be fine. I have shot feathers for years. I love them. I think they're much more forgiving. In fact, it's pretty much a fact. The damn things came off of a bird, and birds fly around or try to fly around. So here's a couple of things about feathers and why they're more forgiving for the hunting archer, which is all I care about. I give a damn about shooting targets or 3D. So if you target a 3D guy, great, that's fun. Keep hunting and shooting a bow and arrow. That's your part of our sport. It's just not my deal. So you'll see two kind of feathers adorning my arrows, and almost, well, I don't have any arrows fletched without all white. I shoot all white all the time. When you shoot all white, it leaves your bow and there's a ball of white going at the target, and there's very few things out there where you can't see what the arrow does at impact. I shoot the razor feathers, which are nice and small and compact. And then I also like the AA Fletch from Joe Furlong over at Vintage Archery. There you can see these are the blunt ended sort of parabolics, right, that are cut off. A couple inches long, half-inch tall, and the razors have been around for a while. A couple of things about feathers. They are naturally bent one way. So you can see that the quill is curved just a little bit. Let me turn it around, see if it's better this way. Okay, you can see the curve right there. That is a right wing feather. You have to match the wings. All the feathers have to be the same way. You can shoot right or left. If you're shooting single bevels, it's preferred to shoot the bevel that matches the wing of the feather. I shoot right wing feathers and right bevel broadheads when I shoot single bevels. When I shoot the other broadheads, stingers and stuff, it doesn't matter. So feathers naturally have multiple quills, and this allows for a tremendous amount of forgiveness. Here's the thing, the reason I shoot feathers is when there's a mistake when I shoot at something alive. I make a mistake, there's a tree in the way, there's grass in the way, you don't see something, you don't index your knock, you're shooting a second arrow, so you miss maybe, stalking, and the animal doesn't react, and you put another arrow on that's not indexed, and it's a little cattywampus, and you need your cock vane to be straight up, and you got one like this, and it hits the edge of your breast. Hey, it happens. And it always happens when you're hunting. You don't notice it when you're shooting 3D and stuff because you don't care, right? Unless your last arrow of the day and you're going to win the tournament. So from my perspective, for broadhead flight, at the moment of truth, for ultimate flexibility, which is all I care about, feathers have always done me very well. They're worth the hassle. If you seriously get rained on, you can put a Ziploc bag over them, but you'll find they're going to be a lot more durable than you'd like to believe. So I treat them with feather dry powder from boning. You just put it in a Ziploc and stuff the shafts into the bag with a little bit of this powder, not much, and rub it into the feathers. I've had no trouble hunting in wet rain. They get a little laid down, they still fly. I just don't have that much trouble. I tune my bows I spend a lot of time tuning and getting them to fly really, really nice. I'm a bare shaft tune guy. And so when the bare shafts fly, the feathers fly. All right, so I use a Bitzenberger fletching tool. I've got one razor feather already going on here, and of course, courtesy of the Ranch Fairy wraps, my newest one's the black on the back. I'm getting ready for hunting season. So this Bitzenberger is probably 25 years old. There's a bunch of videos on how to use a Bitzenberger. I am not going to do a video on how to use a Bitzenberger because plenty of YouTubers have already done that for you. But you can move everything around and get everything really lined up nice. What I want to talk about is I shoot a straight clamp, but the feathers are right wing, and you can't stop the right wing. When you clamp it in here, it will straighten the quill, but you will never stop this bend that's in the feathers here. Let me get it against my shirt here. This bend in the feathers right there, you can see it, okay? You will never stop that. You'll slow down the rotation, which helps your arrow speed and your stability some. You don't want a massively spinning arrow. I think it compromises your arrow flight some, just trajectory wise, right? And if you need that much rotation, you need to tune your bow a little more. So you want it, I fletch them straight clamp, right wing bevel, single bevels. I'm shooting right now, I'm shooting the bishops. And you'll get a little bit of rotation. It'll take off and just rotate real slow. So another thing about the single bevels is all the stuff Ashby wrote about. One of the interesting things, there's a bunch of little factoids in there that people miss. He believed if he can get the single bevels to hit pretty straight and not be rotating going in, then they're a machine and they're offset a little bit, and the single bevels bite more when they hit rotating slower. You're not assisting the broadhead in its action as a machine to rotate. You're forcing it to rotate, which opens the skin up. I have found that to be true. I found that when you hit the right stuff and it's dense enough, that's the key. If you get really thin flesh right between the ribs or something, it doesn't rotate as much. But when you hit bones, I've got a video, one of my nephews, Sam, shot through a pig, and you can see the bone break. You can see the S turn in the bone. And in the meat, when the arrow hits nice and straight, and this will be an argument for you guys who shoot veins, why don't we just shoot straight veins? That's fine. I'm just saying I like feathers, and this is my argument for feathers. But still a straight clamp, right wing, you can't stop that. The wing of the feathers, you can't get straight feathers. So, and then you get that nice slow rotation, and it hits, and then that single bevel really torques. That's my thoughts. Give it a rip. Look at some of the other YouTubers who have talked about using a Bitzenberger or other fletching tools, and enjoy yourself. I highly recommend, final tip, all one color. Offset fletchings, offset colors are kind of a status quo, but I've seen them flying, and they just sometimes make me think my arrows aren't flying true. You shoot all one color, when you have a little kick, something gets out of whack, something's not right, you get a bent point or something, you'll see it swimming. But if you get used to that kind of flashing of different colors in the air, sometimes you won't pick it up. So just another extra little tip. That's the feather talk. And that's why we do it this way, because feathers are flying. Ranch Harry out. Me at 2:16 p.m. on a Saturday after a cold front. They clearly weren't expecting me, but they're pigs, and they should always be expecting me because I'm wearing a black shirt and I'm a pig killer. Subscribe to the channel. Keep subscribing to the channel. There's going to be more chaos. Be expecting me. Ranch Harry out. Golf. It's kind of blowy today, and when the weather changes, got a significant barometer change, these guys show up. This is a rat snake, pretty harmless. They can bite you, but they're not too scary.